Hello, I'm single, saved, and happy. Hello, I'm Elder Elizabeth Michelle Hinton, and welcome to the chat forum with the topic of single and saved in today's world. I am sorry once again. I do apologize for the fact that I had to reschedule it to a later time, and I did not have a lot of time to alert everyone. I just had something come up, and it actually took me at literally 45 minutes afterwards that I saw that I was at the time and that I was past my start time. So I do apologize for anyone that catches this and comes on. Wonderful. If not, I am recording, so it will be posted to Single and Saved. And I hope that you will use this as a guide, something to go by, and also at the same time for you to actually get to see what I'm saying. And I am going to schedule another one later on in the month. I don't know exactly when. I have to look at my schedule and find the time that I'll be free to do this. But I really want to have an opportunity to talk with everyone and to discuss being single and saved in today's world. It's very hard in today's world to be single and saved. Why? Because so many things are considered acceptable by society, but it may not be acceptable in the eyesight of God. So being single and saved can be very hard because we follow the things that we grew up with, things that we've done. One of the things that of the topic tonight is in a relationship, how to behave. How do we behave in a relationship? You have this relationship, you hoping that it will go forward into something more than dating. But the question is, what do you do in the dating process? What do we do? See, so many, like I said, so many things are acceptable in the world today. That's not. And it's not acceptable in God's eyesight. And one of the things that we talk about is chastity. In the olden days, you didn't even take a person on a date alone. A guy came to the house and the parent sat in the room with you. You didn't sit in your bedroom or you went into a room alone. And if you were grown, you still followed those precepts that were taught to you. So you were taught that you didn't do these things. So a date consisted of him taking you out to dinner, to a movies with a friend, more than likely, because you didn't want to be alone. And these are things from that day, So today is acceptable to kiss on the first date, hug, go to have the date at your house, and you're sitting on the couch and you're watching the movie, and it's a whole different range of things. But the question is, how do we behave in a relationship? Do not behave unseemly. This is what the Lord tells us. Being single and saved means following as if Jesus was right there at all times, regardless of what you do. Make sure that you behave in a seemly. Don't get out of hand. Don't do something that you will regret. Don't do things that you would not want to be seen in public doing. So don't do it. I mean, really, come on. It's a matter of semantics. It's not something hard to deduce. What's the right behavior? If you're saying you're saved, then you should act as such. It says not even the appearance of evil. That means don't do things that put yourself in a bad light. Another thing that we talk about is, I'm saved, they aren't. What now? Okay, I'm going to tell you, I'm real. I'm a pastor and I'm real. I do not play games. I'm not going to tell you, oh, that means you got to move out of the house. I've heard people say, oh, that means you have to move. Let me tell you something. Real life is, if you got saved and they are not, then, but yet You have been maintaining a household with this person. This is the other half. How you going to just survive by, oh, well, I got to move out because I'm saved? I'm going to tell you the truth of the matter is you got to pray to the Lord. You got to talk to the Lord about it. You may have to move into a different area in your house, but you're going to have to do some praying and talking to the Lord. And then not only that, the expectation is that you live such a life in front of him or her that that person wants to commit into the next step. They want to, and they want to know Jesus for themselves. So when you get saved and they are not, then you are to bring Jesus and present him to them. And you present it through your life and your living. That's what the expectation is. See, the whole of it all comes down to what we do is to express Jesus and introduce him to the person in our lives, whether it is whether you are into looking for marriage. And then that's the other question. Let's talk about that. We're going to hit on that in a minute. But let me finish up about introducing God. First of all, let's make it clear that being single is not a curse. It's not a curse. It's actually a gift. It's a gift according to the Bible. Why? Because when you are single and saved, you are able to focus completely on the Lord. And this is the thing. Now, I started off with I'm single, saved, and happy. Why? Because I am. I did not need someone else. Jesus completes. So I don't need a person in my life to make it better. My life is great because I have Christ. You can't get no better than that. And if you don't have him, I would suggest that you get him so that you can understand what having a good life is. So being single and saved puts you in a place, in a better place than most people. Because a lot of people are walking around and they're lonely because they don't know how to be happy without a mate. Now, we know that Genesis tells us that the Lord saw that each animal had a mate. Adam was alone, and he said it is not good for man to be alone. So he put Adam in a deep sleep on the rib out of his side and created as a helpmeet, as a companion. So we know that, man was not made to be alone. But some have that choice and choose it because it's good. Some, it's not meant that you will ever find. But the thing is to find happiness in yourself so that you're happy with your life and you're happy being single. First, because see, here's the thing. When you're happy being single, then you're ready to accept someone else in your life. If you don't know how to be happy in your life just the way it is, you cannot be happy at all. Why? Because let me tell you, that very relationship that you feel like you must have to feel happy, to be happy, to have joy, let me tell you what, it will then become the pain. Because if they ever say anything, do anything that isn't perfect and keep you in the perfect bubble of happiness, then you're going to now be unhappy and not single. You see? So this is why it's important that we as single people, that you first of all, you check with God on this thing. Don't jump into relationships out of loneliness. There'll be those that'll tell you that you can't be single, saved, and satisfied. Yes, you can. Why do I know so? Because the Bible tells me when you go over into the scriptures where you find where Paul is talking about singleness and and marriage. And he talks about those that have decided they chose to be eunuchs. They are self-made eunuchs. These are people that are happy, they single, saved, happy, and satisfied. Why? Because they chose that life. This is what they wanted. That was their decision, and they are happy. And there are those that are happy being single. They have no desire for marriage. They feel that the marriage that they have with the Lord is the best marriage you can have. Now, as I said, excuse me, singleness is a gift from God. Um, in 1 Corinthians 7:7, and Jesus says it is good for those, Paul speaks of it as a gift. But then in Matthew 19:11, it says, and Jesus says it is good for those to whom it has been given. See, some have been made eunuchs. Some are choosing to be eunuch. So and a eunuch is just a celibate person, single and celibate. They have committed themselves to Christ. And some are chosen to be, and some choose to be. So it's a gift according to 1 Corinthians 7:7, and it is good for those whom it has been given. Now, there are some people that will make you feel like if you're not married, something's wrong with you. Well, let me tell you, if I wait on the Lord, I'd rather wait on God and you think that something's wrong with me than for me to choose to please you and I'm not happy. So understand that being single and saved in the world today, that it should not be, yet it still is something from the days of old where people said when you should be married. No one knows when you should be married. It's all dependent upon many different things. Are you a person that wants to have children? That makes a difference on when you should get married. If you're a person that has realized that I really do not have a desire to have children, it doesn't matter if you pass childbearing age when you decide. It didn't stop anything. And let's be real, in today's world, it's fairly rare to find someone without children already. So you still might get children without having them. Singleness has advantages. In 1 Corinthians 7, single people are spared the troubles of marriage. There are many great blessings in marriage, but there are difficulties too. Understandably, Christian couples don't often talk openly about hard things they face, which can give singles a rose-tinted view of marriage. But the problem is, everything ain't always beautiful. Paul says, since marriage does bring many troubles in this life, and Paul says, I want to spare you this, 1 Corinthians 7:28. He mentions these troubles here chiefly because of the daring they have on the next point, which is single people can devote themselves more fully to God's work. An unmarried man is concerned about the Lord's affairs, how he can please the Lord. But a married man or woman is concerned about the affairs of this world. How can he or she please their spouse? And that makes your interests be divided. So what I want you to understand in today's world, it really isn't a big thing to be single, because really, truly, people are choosing that life. People are deciding now. People are making more choices about what they want than what society thinks that they should do. And society has told us that, oh, you're 25, you should get married. Well, people are choosing to get married at 30. They're choosing to wait until they're they're financially stable. People are choosing different reasons to wait. And some are choosing to marry early, but those are ones that they have made this decision that they know what they want to. They know what they want. And so these are ones that get with someone that's got the same vision and view. And this is another point to be made, is make sure that when you're getting with someone, check them. This is how come you have these I'm saved, they aren't what now? Because you might be a person that you have a view that is already in the moral sense, but you just haven't reached the righteous place yet. Now, if you got a mate that doesn't even follow moral living, and you know they're not going to go into the spirit. If they a person that never wants to, and you might be one that goes to church. You might be that you go to church, but you just haven't given your life to Christ. Don't be unequally yoked. So this is the purpose of praying to the Lord and letting Him guide you. Because when we get in there and we start doing, we can seriously make some mess about the spouse. And that comes because we choose things that we attracted to, not necessarily that we find every bit of their character. We judge by what's on the outside, not what's on the inside. I can say that. I used to do it. I used to go with guys that were tall, slim, built, fine. Yes. I didn't worry about what the character was. And then I get into the relationship and find them to be either verbally abusive or mentally. And ain't nobody been physically abusive, because in the world, I would fight you right back. So they didn't get physically abusive, but they were verbally abusive. And I would take things because I felt that I had to keep this relationship. You have to learn sometimes in a relationship to be a little selfish. You got to look out for you. And if the relationship is not feeding the things that it should, and here's the things that it should. A good relationship should encourage you. That's number one. I want you to get these points. So if you're coming on, write them down. If you're looking at the recording, write these down somewhere. Your relationship should encourage you. What do I mean? It should encourage you to do better. It should make you feel supported, but encourage you to follow those things that are in you. If you dream of owning your own business, your relationship should be a relationship that encourages that, not a relationship that tells you you're too dumb to do that. Oh, it's never going to go. It should encourage you. Number two, it should empower you. Empower. Your relationships should empower you. In today's world, if the relationship takes away from your life, if it makes it less than it was, if it doesn't make you feel like you are able to do anything, because you know that you have a support system that will see you through. If it does not empower you to step out on faith and go forth, then you need to drop. It should encourage you so that in sad times you are encouraged, in good times you are encouraged. It should empower you. It should make you feel like, yes, I can. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I am able to. I am chosen. I am a child of God, and there is nothing that I can't do through Christ who strengthens me. That brings you to the next. It should strengthen you. It should, yeah, I know you thought I was giving you some ease, but no, those just happen. It should strengthen you. That means anywhere that you have bad self-image, it should strengthen you. It should make you see yourself through a better light. It should make you say, I'm better than I thought I was. I'm worth more than I thought I was. A relationship should strengthen you, not make you, but strengthen you. It should bring out those strong points and strengths that's already within you that you didn't know you had, but they bring them out and make you see the better side of you. The next thing is it should make you know your worth. It should make you know your worth. In today's relationships, single and saved today, you have to know these points, because if you don't know these points, you will never know what your worth is. You will think that you're only entitled to what they're able to give. You should know your worth and know whether a person is meeting you at what your worth is. Let me explain that. Sometimes we get into relationships and we went in with better self-esteem than we come out with, because you forget what your worth is. Your relationship should make it so you are always reminded of your worth. Why? If you are a woman, then that man should know how to tell you, and you should want a man that's able to tell you that I find myself stronger with you than I was without you. Simple as that. And the same is vice versa. You should be able to have a relationship where you're able to tell that man, I find myself stronger with you than I was before you. And that lets you know, that lets them know their worth. See, we should be more than happy to let our partner know their worth. See, if you are a person that is controlling, abusive, mentally, physically, emotionally, verbally, you will never let a person know what their worth is. This is why it's important for single and saved to know your worth. Now, what is your worth? Those are the things that the man, talking about male or female, but I'm talking about creation, what a man should do in a relationship. We should let our significant other know their worth. But you should know your worth, because you should know that Jesus thought you were worth dying for. And that alone should make you know just how worthy you are. You should understand your worth going into a relationship. This stops you from taking junk. This stops you from losing your self-respect. This stops you from losing who you are in a relationship. You should never lose sight of who you are in a relationship. You should not lose yourself so into the relationship that you become them instead of you. It should be that I am able to be who I am, but together we become one. Not in me losing my identity, but instead because I have my identity and you never took it from me. Single and saved today. It's simple. Know your behavior, how to behave in the relationship. Don't do something that you will regret later. If you can see where it might be something regretful, don't do it. Just don't do it. If you see that someone might mistake what you're doing, don't do it. Not even the appearance of evil. See, we like to give ourselves excuses for our bad behavior, but single and saved in the world today, it still applies from yesteryear that you must have a sense of respect for yourself, and you should bring the expectation up. Don't settle for less because you think that you can't have the best. The Lord if you allow him to send the mate, it's only going to give you the best. He didn't give his children junk. So stop accepting a bunch of junk. Stop taking and accepting people that misuse you, abuse you, push you to the side. You're only worth something when they need something from you. Otherwise, you mean nothing. If I'm not number 2 behind Jesus, then you're not worth my time. And this is what you have to start learning. Being single and saved in the world today means I choose what I'm willing to deal with and what I'm not. So this is what you have to start learning to do in the world today as single and saved people. We have to start learning to not accept just anything, but accept only the best. I hope that this class will do something to help you. If you have any questions, please make sure that you send them, post them in Single and Saved. I will definitely be reading the comments tomorrow. I will answer all questions, any posts that you put to it. I will respond. So please do. And as I said, I will set up another Zoom class coming up. We will stay with this forum, Single and Saved in Today's World. And we will talk more on that next go round with a larger forum. So I hope that you will join me next time. Be blessed, and I will see you